Good morning, adventurers.
Good morning.
Welcome to another day of our epic Australian road trip. So over the last few days, we've kind of made our way up through Brisbane, and then we went through Surfer's Paradise, which was described to us as the Miami of Australia.
Very different vibe from all the other little cities we've been stopping into.
We've made our way to one of the highlights of the trip, or something we were excited about, and that is Fraser Island. Fraser Island is the largest sand island in the world, and that's what we're going to be exploring today. So we got up bright and early, hopped on one of these, I guess they're like overland vehicles, but they're huge, very rugged, and it actually drove onto a barge.
Yeah, on the beach, straight into this barge, or onto this barge, and then when we get to Fraser Island, that is what we will be doing again. We will be driving on the sandy beaches, which is why you have to have a four-wheel drive vehicle.
Yeah.
And this island is known for some pretty epic lakes. It's supposed to be absolutely breathtaking once we get over there.
Yeah, so epic views, some awesome nature, hopefully some delicious food, because we're starving.
Well, yeah, we haven't eaten breakfast yet, and maybe a dingo or two? I don't know.
Dingo, a wallaby, kangaroo.
Maybe not, we'll see. It is about to get insanely bumpy for the next half hour. I'm so glad that I remembered to bring my ginger shoes. Oh
geez.
Boy.
Wow, that was a lot of fun, you guys. I didn't really know what to expect, but we just basically cut right through the island on this road that it's just a public road, but it was so gnarly and just completely made out of sand and so bumpy.
I guess normally you can drive completely on the beach, but it's high tide right now.
Yeah.
So it was a little dangerous. You had to go across through the middle. But then we came onto the beach again. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. We were driving through all these waves and everything.
Yeah,
it was
really
wild.
cool. But we stopped at this freshwater creek here, and they told us that the water seeps up from the ground and then I guess heads out into the ocean. And I think we're gonna have a spot of tea.
I know, this tour comes with 2 tea stops and I think a barbecued lunch later, which is gonna be so amazing.
Just come and grab an empty cup. There's cold water and cordial. Grab a biscuit. There's some milk in the other thermos.
Well, tea and biscuits was great, but we got attacked by all these, I don't know if you can see them. They're actually bees? We thought they were flies.
They're really interesting
They're
looking. They're like half bee, half fly.
And then there are the biggest horse flies. I only got bit by one, luckily, but they have been landing on everyone. They're everywhere. I think they're just very curious. But
so we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah, get the heck out of here.
See more of the island.
Mm-hmm.
Our next stop is Lake McKenzie, which we've heard about all of our lives. So many people have recommended this spot. Mm-hmm. But I think we might actually get in the water too. We're all changed up.
It's gonna be an epically huge, crystal clear, I think, blue lake.
Yeah, also probably really cold, but I'm pretty excited about it. We're walking under the biggest spider ever right now. Really freaked me out because when I see one, I just assume there are a bunch more. So I thought we'd maybe run into one. This water is so cool. It's a little bit blue right there, but then it immediately turns this deep green, almost black, and it drops off into the depths. It's kind of scary. You really have to know how to swim. We actually heard that a couple people recently drowned because they didn't know how to swim. Went out in the deep end and got stuck. Are you coming? She's too afraid of it.
This lake is absolutely magical, but we have just gotten word that our barbecue lunch is ready, so we are gonna scurry up there and eat everything. Lunch is served. Eric and I went with the fish. Our driver is a man of many talents. He actually barbecued this for us. It's got lemon on there and everything. We were the, I think, last 2 to get food though, so it was a little
Yeah, we
slim
got the
pickings.
scraps.
But they had some nice little salads, some little like pasta salad and another type of pasta salad and egg salad. I think.
Pretty good spread.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, you jerk.
You've got to fight the bugs out here.
Tastes like fish with some lemon on there. Pretty good.
What have we here? Hey, big fella. You just looking for some food?
What you got there, sir?
They had booze this whole time. Nobody told me. Now they're packing everything up, so I got the scraps, but there was still a little bit of wine left at least. So now we are just starting a bit of a nature walk through the rainforest here on the island. Really interesting. They used to do, I think for over 100 years, they were doing logging on the island. You know, naturally they caused a lot of damage to the island, then eventually they made it illegal to do that. The reason it was so profitable is because there's so many different types of trees, and I think we're gonna learn a bit more about the trees on the walk here.
What they came for was a timber like this. This is the kauri pine. So it's a nice floating timber. As you can see, it'd make a good mast for a boat. When they came here in the 1800s, everyone was getting around in wooden boats, so a timber that sold to the boat industry was going to sell real well. So this was one of the earmarked timbers that they went after when they came here. Then they just kind of went for everything.
So we just learned that this little guy here, this little vine, actually grows from the top down and then puts his roots in here, and he's slowly strangling this tree. And over the course of the next, 200 or 300 years, this little guy is gonna lay such strong roots down there that when he eventually strangles this tree out, it'll fall, but he'll be able to stand, and then he'll take all the nutrients that this tree was getting.
Yeah, and he said it makes what they call a cobweb tree, because I guess it just...
I guess over time more and more will grow, but pretty brutal. Jeez.
We're just strolling by this creek, and it is absolutely crystal clear. And it's got sand in it, you know, because the whole island's made of sand. It's really unique looking, don't you think?
It's really pretty, and we learned that this fern growing in it has been here for 1,000 years, or at least this stream has been, because it would die within 2 weeks without any water. So we know that for 1,000 years the water has been flowing here because this fern is that old and he is still here. Pretty cool.
We actually just learned something really interesting. So they have this little boardwalk that we've been walking on, and our guide told us that I think in the early 90s you were able to drive through here, walk through here, they could swim in the creek, and then I guess it became a World Heritage Site, and then they decided to help preserve it a bit, and they made this little boardwalk for us to walk through. Back. Fraser Island was amazing. We can highly recommend checking it out if you are in the area in Australia.
Yes, and hopefully you see dingoes. We hear that every once in a while you don't see any, but I think we saw 6 on our trip.
Everywhere. They were
awesome.
all over. And they were kind of adorable. They didn't look like they wanted to kill me, but I'm sure if I got close enough, they'd be pretty aggressive. I was about to say, it's
pretty deceptive, because I think if you were just out there, you'd think like, oh, maybe I'll just, one little pet, and then it would devour you. So stay away, just admire from afar.
So when we reconvene, we are going to be doing an overnight train. It's probably going to be miserable, so stay tuned for that to see how that goes.
We'll see. We did our very first overnight train recently in Vietnam, and it was not the greatest thing. We had beds in that one. I don't think we'll have beds this time. So, You know us, we're not very good at sleeping upright.
No. And then after that, we're going to be doing, we'll keep it a secret what we're going to be doing after that. But it's going to be really cool.
Yep. Just heading further up north into more beautiful landscapes. We cannot wait. Good night, adventures.
We'll see you on the road.